All right, here's the new head unit that's going to go in the Mustang. Let's start by unboxing this new JVC KW-Z1000W. You should have saw the state of the shipping box that this was received in. It's a miracle it's here at all. All right. What we got? Yeah, those are little plastic panels. That's a little plastic panel, which, if I understand right, you don't put this in, the unit won't turn on. Hardware, screws. Cabling with adhesive mat. I don't know what that's for. Steering remote adapter. Probably not something we're going to be using in this install. USB cable. More hardware. Let's keep that hardware together. Hands-free microphone. Stereo harness. Instruction manual. Okay, I don't know what to take out first. Let's try this. See if we can drop it in there. That looks like a double DIN head unit. Assume that this is a 10.1-inch display. So I think rather than get this all scratched up, I'm just going to leave that for now. Put that off to the side. So that is the stereo head unit. Okay, we got the head unit unboxed. So the next thing we're going to unbox is this idatalink Maestro RR2. Now, probably went a little bit overboard with the RR2. The RR should have worked fine. For those of you who don't know, this is a kit which allows you to integrate your heater control and steering wheel control functions with a Maestro ready radio. As far as I can tell, the main advantages of the RR2 over the RR include being able to program it Bluetooth. That's my understanding, which would be a lot better than having to take the whole dash apart if you got to change programming on it. And the ability to assign user inputs and outputs, which we might have to do for future functionality. Or if it turns out that I really do need a couple of actual buttons, because I'm pretty sure that this combo is going to obstruct every single button on the radio stack, so you'll have only the screen. But I could always 3D print a button panel, add a couple buttons, tie them to an input on here, and have it do something like, for instance, bring up the climate control screen. So let's see what we got. Let's take it out the other way. There's the Maestro module. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of inputs and outputs for the various custom functionality. And here is a package of cabling, possibly divided into input and output cables. So rather than tear all these apart, looks like that's all there is to it. There's the module and there's a cable pack. And that's French. There's a quick start guide that says follow Bluetooth or USB programming. Well, that would be awesome if you could program this Bluetooth, because like I said, with the RR, which doesn't support Bluetooth as far as I know, if you decide you need to make a configuration change, you're going to have to tear the dash apart to plug a cable into it. So the next part of this installation is the idatalink Maestro MUS1 dash kit. This piece here is going to completely replace the panel on the radio stack in the Mustang. It has a couple of buttons, but by the time we're done putting this floating display in, I'm pretty sure we're going to end up with these buttons obstructed and maybe even the sync screen obstructed. So I think you're on your own as far as buttons. You're going to have to use the steering wheel controls and the radio screen. But when you think about it, with most modern vehicles, most of your functionality is on the radio screen anyway. So this should have the panel and the harnesses and so on. So let's open this up and see what we got. Quick start guide, French quick start guide, it's a Spanish quick start guide. That's our console stack panel. It's a cardboard. These for sure are the brackets, the radio brackets. I'll lift this whole piece of cardboard out and keep those radio brackets in one spot if I can. It's always a good idea to try and keep this kind of stuff organized when you unpack it. So you don't. All right, so you got this pocket. The factory Mustang doesn't have a console pocket, but my plan is to put wireless charging in here if it works. And this is another reason why I think the screen's gonna have to be set up a little bit high. This is gonna go right down at the lowest point on the console and on the radio stack. This pocket also provides 2 USB ports so that you can get USB right in the front here, which is another thing that's not present on the Mustang. There's USB in the console, but not up at the front. So that'll be good. And then what else we got in here? A bag of buttons, presumably none of which are going to be useful in this install. HDMI adapter. I'm sure these are all audio video adapters. And box of cables. Now these cables here are going to plug into the factory harness in the car, and then they're going to be spliced into the new radio harness, which you should probably do on the bench first, and we will do. And then they'll also be spliced into the idatalink Maestro harness, and all of it will get plugged together and miraculously work. So I guess on to the next thing, which is assembling the harness.